You're still talking. You're not even listening.
Excuse me.
Let me say one thing,
This is the
sir.
most dysfunctional thing I've ever seen in my life.
Angel, just be quiet.
A quarter of a century ago, the town of Jasper had ghastly headlines. The town was scarred by a case of racial injustice.
Please do your job
There is
for
no
people.
But now folks in Jasper are fighting a very different kind of battle.
We are broken here. We have to fix that brokenness.
It's a fight to fix what many believe is broken city government, ignoring the city charter, the will of its residents, ethics rules.
Since I've become city councilwoman, I found out that it's not fair and equal, not in any way.
Jasper's mayor is Anderson Land, and he knew he was running for a part-time political job that wouldn't pay him a penny. But now that he got elected, he wants to get paid.
You sold out to the people. That's my belief, and I'll always believe it. You sold out, Mayor, and I told you was going to do it.
I believe it too.
The East Texas town of Jasper has just over 7,000 residents. Nearly a third of the town lives in poverty.
McCroskey pulling it off, winning with 57% of the vote there in Jasper.
That's one of the reasons I ran, because my neighbors were struggling so much to pay their electric bill.
Residents voted to limit what the city could charge for electricity, sewer, water, no more than 10% over the city's cost. That measure was called Proposition A, but it turns out that years later, even the finance director wasn't sure the money was being put aside if taxpayers were getting cheated.
Are we implementing this since it was passed 2 years ago?
Don't know, I can't find anything on that.
That's reassuring. A year earlier, another city council member had asked the very same thing.
We did what people said voted hard to do.
It's not refunds, or is it not rebates?
Yes, we
The money that
Why? People voted on this. Why?
For example, we had an attorney opinion.
That's former city manager Denise Kelly telling Councilman Sample that some lawyer told her they didn't have to implement the proposition. And what's crazy is that when Anderson Land was a city councilman, he actually spearheaded the Proposition A petition, brought it to a public vote.
Because I ran for this to help him out in some mess that was happening with the city council at the time when he was on the board.
Sample thought he would be an ally with the mayor, but says once Land got elected, he didn't want to talk about Proposition A anymore.
He was mayor. He was sitting to my left. And he had told me before, don't do that, don't ask that.
One of Land's biggest critics is Mike Lout, a former Jasper mayor who runs KJAS.
It's KJAS.
The city's radio station. It's the town's media watchdog.
He went door to door and got it signed, but somebody got to him and shut it down.
Listen to how the mayor reacts when citizens complain.
We've just got crazy people up here, and I'll say it in public. I'll say it. We just got crazy people up here that's so hell-bent on doing something to the city of Jasper and JEDCO that they have lost their ever-loving minds.
Can we move on?
We're gonna take a look at it.
Finally this month, residents got a report. The city manager showing them that the electric rate study they did shows folks are being charged too much.
Can we move on?
But they're still waiting for a review of water and sewer rates.
One of the complaints I did when I filed the case is they had never done a cost of service study since 2008.
Bill Grant is president of Citizens of Jasper for Fair and Equitable Rates. The group filed a complaint with the Texas Public Utility Commission.
We did reach a settlement, but I don't believe our work is done.
The city had amassed a huge pot of money, more than $60 million from utility refunds. Only $29 million, though, was unspent.
The settlement we reached with the city of Jasper was that they could only use that money for things that would otherwise be in electric rates. So they couldn't use it for example, basketball court.
The city had used $1 million for a basketball pavilion in Jasper's Sandy Creek Park. Other millions more had been spent on city vehicles, downtown revitalization. At least $3 million went to a project called Jasper United. It was supposed to bring jobs into the city of Jasper.
We're calling Provalus.
where we're delivering dependable, scalable, quality IT services straight from the heart of America.
Provalus is a technology company that sets up shop in small towns around the country. It promised Jasper 100 jobs. Their 5-year contract with Jasper has just ended, but it looks like Provalus violated the contract.
I mean, it's supposed to benefit the city. I don't think it benefits the city at all.
They were required to give monthly reports documenting the number of employees they have.
They're spending money. I'm just now finding all this stuff out.
An enormous amount of money, from what I understand, has been spent.
Also, at the same time, I'm getting sicker and sicker.
I don't care what the city of Jasper is doing or what JEDCO is doing. If it's going to keep jobs in the city of Jasper, I don't have a problem with it.
But they didn't. JEDCO is the city's economic arm, and we investigate those economic development places all over Texas. This is the first time I've run into this problem. Jennifer Miranda was appointed months back to the JEDCO board. Her question was a bombshell.
I simply asked the question, are we a legal board? Are we even a legal board? And to this day, I've not gotten an answer.
JEDCO's bylaws allow 17 board members to be appointed in 2-year terms. Trouble is, only 3 of the 17 board members have current appointments.
The economic development, JEDCO, has a stranglehold on the town.
This illegitimate board has been spending taxpayer money for years, even money that benefits themselves.
Purposely, I have not violated any law purposely.
JEDCO's executive director, Eddie Hopkins, was the guy that was supposed to make sure the EDC ran properly, the guy who maintains the records on possible conflicts of interest. But JEDCO board members have been enriching themselves to the tune of tens of thousands of dollars.
In my eyes and in my opinion, is a very honorable organization.
Board member Chris Lanier got $20,000 in facade grant money for 2 of his buildings. Board member Dr. Larry Brown got more than $11,000 for complete health care, where he practices medicine. The daughter of board chairman Danny Walker got more than $12,000 for her business, The Veranda. And board member Marvin McDonald's business, Double M Rentals, got $27,000 in taxpayer funds.
We don't rent to them anymore, so there's not any conflict of interest.
That's not really the point. McDonald's been on the board for 7 years past the date he was supposed to be replaced.
It's the same group of people over and over again who are benefiting from it, while at the exact same time turning down the people who truly need help.
We're not bad people. We're all good people.
Hopkins resigned from JEDCO just days after we called him. The board has stopped meeting.
Currently, the city does not have a position. If you would like to come visit with me about this some other time, that's just fine.
In recent years, city employees in Jasper have also been chosen as city vendors. Hundreds of thousands of dollars spent. Employee Bob Gary, he owns B&B Fencing. John Wendt, he owns Duck Doctor. Former city manager Denise Kelly and her husband own a company called Forestry Supply. All vendors.
We have a new city manager. I don't live in the past. I'm trying to make Jasper better by moving to the future.
But Land has started a petition asking for support to collect a $1,000 per month salary, and he wouldn't answer our questions about that.
That's your stuff.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm not going to tell you about it, because I don't know if I'm going to complete it or not.
The mayor believes he's king of Jasper, and anyone who speaks out against him, you are his enemy, and he will get you. But I'm not afraid of the mayor. He'll tell you.
McCroskey says Mayor Land is doing everything he can to silence her voice, but she's just getting started.
My goal for the rest of my term would be that I want to make people aware of what's happening. I want people to be involved in their government, because when we're not involved, then things like this happens.
What we can do is stay at it, stay for the people. I ain't for myself. I'm for total city of Jasper.